Hello everyone, this video is about the conditional mood. There are a couple of main ways to use the conditional mood in Polish. We can use it to talk about some unreal situations which are practically or completely impossible to fulfill. We can also express action which would be possible or would have been possible under some conditions. So we can both talk about present or future, as well as we can talk about the past. We can also give advice or suggestions, and it is useful to ask favors very politely. Now let's take a look at the construction. To create the conditional mood, in Polish we need a verb in past imperfect form, third person. It can be both perfective or imperfective. Plus we add the conditional particle by, and this is the part that we conjugate. Let's see it on the example of the verb wygrywać, wygrać, to win. For the singular, the forms are wygrywał, wygrał. Now let me draw a table to explain it. Now, how to use this table? Let's take a look at the examples. Let's take the first person, I, ja. Now let's take the verb. I'll choose perfective now. So, ja wygrał. And now if it's a man who's speaking it, we leave it this way. So we don't add anything at the end. As you see in the table, under M masculine, there's nothing to add. If it's a woman, we add the letter A. So we have ja wygrała. Now we have to add the conjugated particle by. And for the first person, it's bym. It gives us ja wygrałbym or ja wygrałabym if it's a woman. It can mean both I would win or I would have won, depending on the context. Let's make another example. Let's say somebody is talking to a woman. If you had trained hard enough, you would win. But talking about a regular competition, so you would win every competition, for example. So we have the first part. If you had trained enough, wygrywała. We have to add a at the end for feminine. Wygrywałabyś. In third person singular, we also have the neuter. At the end of the verb, we have to add the letter o. The child would win or would have won would be te dziecko wygrałoby. We took the perfective, we add the o for neuter and by as the conditional particle. As you see, the verb and the particle, we write it together. But for you to know, this construction works also when the particle goes before the verb, and this way we write it separately. So it would be bym wygrał, byś wygrywała, by wygrało. Now let's see the same thing with plurals. The form of the verb would change slightly. Wygrywali, wygrywały for imperfective. Wygrali, wygrały for perfective. In Polish, with the grammatical gender, for plural it's slightly different. We have two genders in the plural. First is masculine personal gender, and this regards only masculine, but only when we talk about human beings. And the next gender is non-masculine gender, and this one is used only when it comes to everything which is feminine or neuter in the singular. So women, feminine objects, neuter objects, and even masculine objects, but it has to be an object. It can be a man or a human being. So practically all the rest except of masculine human being. Or a mixed company, when there are men and women together, we would use also masculine personal gender. The construction works the same as in the singular. My, verb, let's say wygrali, a group of men, or mixed company, women and men together. They would say we would win or we would have won. Wygralibyśmy, with the imperfective. When you talk to a group of men or mixed company again. Wygrywalibyście, and wygrałyby when you talk about a group of women. And again, we can put the conditional particle at the beginning before the verb. It would be like this. Byśmy wygrali, byście wygrywali, by wygrywały. There's also another construction that we have to know to use the conditional mood in Polish. This is when you say if. There are four main ways to say if in Polish, and these are gdy, jeżeli, jeśli. These two are similar, jeżeli and jeśli. And the fourth one, which is most colloquial, I think, jak. And we add the particle by again. Let's see how it works with the verb chcieć, to want. For example, if you wanted, we have to conjugate the particle by. It will be gdybyś chciał, jeżeli byś chciał, jeśli byś chciał, jakbyś chciał. Now when we talk about a group of women, if they wanted, gdyby chciały, jeżeli by chciały, jeśli by chciały, jakby chciały. For a group of men it's the same. We only need to change the verb slightly because the form is different. Before we had chciały, now we have chcieli. Let's go to the examples. Gdybyś mi pomogła, być może bym wygrał. If you had helped me, maybe I would have won. So here we have dative case. And here we're talking about the action which would have been possible under some conditions. If you had helped me, maybe I would have won. It's talking about the past situation. Next example. Chciałbym znać wszystkie języki świata. I wish I knew all languages of the world. This is talking about an unreal situation. It's like when we're dreaming. I wish I could, I wish I had. In Polish we use the verb chcieć, to want. It's like I would like to have, to know. Now we will use it to give an advice or suggestion. Na twoim miejscu zrobiłbym to inaczej. If I were you, I would have done it in a different way. Na twoim miejscu is a phrase that we use often to give advice, like if I were you. Literally in Polish it means on your place, if I were you. And the same phrase we have here, the same Polish phrase, could be used to talk about the future or the present. Here we're speaking about the past. I would have done it. It could be also I would do in a different way. I don't know if in English we can say differently. I would have done it differently, but this is exactly how we say it in Polish. Inaczej. Next example. Czy mogłybyście pomóc mojej mamie? Here we're talking to a group of women. And this is how we ask a favor politely. That's all for now. I hope it was useful and stay tuned for the next videos.